Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the studio. As you can see here, I'm looking a little different, and that's because I got the haircut. There is two big reasons why I decided to chop all the hair off. Because originally I had this vision of growing my hair out for 4 years, to kind of like set a goal for myself, or like a thing where it's like, okay, if I don't cut my hair for 4 years, I can focus on like a task, and until that task is complete, I had this like 4-year plan of like, figuring out what I wanted to do with my life basically before I came up with the game store, or at least pursued the game store. I've had the idea for the game store for many years, but that 4-year plan was also part of how long I wanted to get my hair growing. So, yeah, I was like, okay, I'll do it for 4 years. I'll stay at this apartment for 4 years, blah, 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 blah. But as it happens, life is not that predictable. And so I cut it because, one, I'm also not staying at this apartment for 4 years. I will have a new apartment in December. This one's way too expensive. I digress. I plan on... I cut my hair because... I am going for that manager position, and for one, they don't like long hair for whatever reason, or upper management doesn't seem to care too much about it. I know I shouldn't conform, and I shouldn't care about what they think. It is just a job after all, but I kind of want to give myself the best odds. And also, I like this haircut. I think it looks really good. But also, personally, it was just getting to be a lot. I mean, I could have gone either way. I could have kept going, or I could have cut it. Didn't really matter to me too much. But I think I look pretty good. So that's why I cut my hair. To all of you who did not ask, that is why I cut my hair. But anyway, moving on to the actual thing for the video, I guess. Is not much. I really don't have much to film today. I'm probably just going to be testing games at some point today on the PS3, making sure all the games in my collection work currently, and the ones that don't, I mark them so that I can, when I get a disk resurfacer, I know what to do. So my goal is to take the bin of games that I have over there, get my other little mini TV that I bought, which I don't know if I talked about yet. I can't remember if you guys were with me on that one, but I went to the thrift store, and I got this little 13-inch TV here. It's really tiny, really small. But I got it at a closeout sale for a thrift store for $13. So I was like, that's a pretty good tester TV. It's got the HDMI ports, and it has AV out. So what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably end up bringing that TV into the living room next to my big TV, have the PS3 hooked up on the big TV, and then have the Wii hooked up on the little one, and then that way I can do double time, test all of my GameCube and Wii games, as well as all of my PS1, 2, and 3 games. And then, as I said, I'll mark which ones need to be resurfaced and which ones are good to go. So that way, I can get ahead of this inventory before it gets exponentially huge, and I'm not spending literally days upon days testing everything before open in 2 years. So, because I'm probably going to accrue quite a lot more video games in the time that it takes, and I would rather do them all as I go than worrying about doing, 7,000 games before open. I just personally think that's the better option. And the main reason I got the PS3. But that's probably all I'm going to be doing today. Or at some point today. I just got home. So I'll probably crack open a beer and watch some YouTube. Maybe make some food. And probably play some games with the boys here in a minute. I've thought about getting back into streaming. I don't know to what capacity, and I don't really want to do it unless it's like, worth it, I guess, or like they'll be consistent at it. Right now with the other job and everything, it is difficult to find that kind of time. But there are a lot of games I want to play, and I just feel like I don't have the time. So giving myself a creative outlet helps me get through a lot of these games. At least the older ones, you know, the retro games that I just like feel like I don't like. It's not productive to play the older games, I guess. I don't know. Maybe I'm just going crazy. I've rambled enough this clip, so I will see you guys when I figure out what the hell else I'm gonna film today. So I was just going through my channel and looking through, and I realized that I did not mention that road trip I was talking about a couple videos ago didn't happen yet. It will happen at some point, I'm sure. It's just, it is an expensive idea, and right now the struggles with money are still not like 1,000% good. I've got the second job, and that's been helping a lot for sure. But I really need to focus more on having like a nice savings before I attempt something like that. Because as I said before, I want like a nice safety net. And sometimes that's just hard to do because stuff happens, you know. Expenses you don't think about come up, or random stuff happens. And, so I want like a safe amount of money in the bank before I try to do a road trip up to Indianapolis. Though I will say I also need to save up for Japan, because I think I've talked about it a little bit, but I'll be going to Japan here at the end of the year in October. And it's going to be expensive. It's also going to be a little more expensive too, because one of the guys who was going to go with us on the trip isn't able to make it, unfortunately. So the cost of all of the like hotels and stuff are going to be a little bit more expensive because it'll be like one less person. But I digress. I think it'll still be really good. I'll still have plenty of money to throw at Japan. But every little bit helps, because I do want to buy like a good amount of Japanese video games for the store. Mainly because I want like a nice little import showcase when I first open, and I think that would be the most prime time to buy that kind of stuff. So, you know, not doesn't have to be like anything crazy, but like a couple of, you know, complete in-box GameCube or N64 games would be pretty neat. They're a lot cheaper in Japan, so if I buy them in Japan, they'll be cheaper than if I were to import them, you know, living in the US. So the goal is to fill up like a suitcase or two for the opening showcase for sure. But that is, you know, I need to have the money for that. Luckily, I will be getting quite a bit of money in October, because I'll be getting 3 paychecks from my day job, because it's one of those months where I get paid 3 times in the month. And then I also get paid for my other job, of course. I don't know if that's also 3 times that month, or if it's 2 times, or whatever it is, but either way, that's like 5 paychecks. Plus I get my annual bonus from my day job as well, which is another check. So I get paid, for 6 times in October, which is fucking crazy. So, you know, that in and of itself can pay for the entire trip, no problem. But I would like to have, you know, a decent amount of money put back for when I get back. You know, I need to kind of keep a savings rolling. And I apologize if this rambling about money isn't what you guys subscribe for, but it's kind of just what things are going, or how things are going right now. Me rambling about future plans and stuff. This vlog, I'm sorry if it's not very interesting. It's all I have right now. So just new haircut and rambling. That's what this video is, or it's what it's turned into. Mainly because I kind of wasted the day. I got off work at 3:30 and then just crashed after my haircut. So, but that happens quite often. Hopefully tomorrow will be a little more interesting. If I go back and try to film again. Like I said, I would like to return to daily vlogs, but the issue is I just don't have a lot of stuff to talk about, or I haven't been doing a lot of things that are worth filming, right? With that said, I might try to, or I've dabbled with the idea of doing something I did when I first started daily vlogging, and that is kind of talking about like top 10s or more plans for the game store, which I think I already did. Didn't I do an episode where I like talked about, game store deals? I swear I did a video where I talked about like my game store, like plans. Maybe not. Doesn't look like I have, or at least I haven't titled it in the video. I can't remember, but I do have a lot of ideas for the game store. I'm very excited for it. I think one of the ideas I've mentioned is I would like for it to, it's primarily going to be a retro video game store where, you kind of like Vaxxon Video is basically what I want from the gaming aspect of it, but I also kind of want it to be like a cafe, not like a crazy, like where I bake everything from scratch kind of cafe, but I love coffee and I have a huge passion for coffee, and I've always thought about roasting my own beans and making it all from scratch, etc., etc. So I think it'd be really cool to have like the option for people to buy coffee, like maybe get some video game themed drinks in there, and then have like a little, lounge area where people can play like N64 or something, But I'm not 100% sure if that's going to happen at Open, mainly because that requires at least another employee and also quite a bit of square footage as well to get all that situated. And I also worry about doing too much, because new businesses, if they try to do too much, that can be detrimental. So I'll see where I'm at. Like, it's 2 years. I've got time to think about it. But I do like that idea of having like a game store and then also have like a cafe to kind of put it together. But obviously, don't know if that's going to happen right away. I'm just focusing on my inventory, of course. And so that's it for this video. I'm sorry if this rambly video was a little lackluster, but hopefully next video will be a little bit more interesting. And I will see you guys then. Thanks for watching.